Is autophagy the fountain of youth? The answer is a resounding maybe, but first let's discuss what it is and what it is not. Welcome back to the Senior Health Report. Today we will discuss autophagy, the fascinating biological process that's been gaining significant attention in recent years. If you want to learn more, stay with us. We will answer your questions as we go along. If we don't answer them, please leave them in the comments below so we can help you. This Nobel Prize-winning discovery has shown remarkable promise in potentially reversing conditions like cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's disease. Understanding autophagy could be one of the most important health concepts you'll ever learn about, as it touches everything from immune function to anti-aging and even how your body recovers from injuries. The term autophagy literally means self-eating, which might initially sound alarming. Why would we want our bodies to eat themselves? But this process is actually one of the most sophisticated maintenance mechanisms your body has at its disposal. Derived from the Greek words auto, meaning self, and phagy, meaning to eat or consume, autophagy represents your body's internal recycling and cleanup system that's essential for optimal health. Research has demonstrated that autophagy provides numerous impressive benefits. It can slow or even reverse aspects of aging at the cellular level, dramatically improving how your body detoxifies itself. It enhances your immune system's function, improves tissue quality throughout your body, and creates a better hormone balance by reducing insulin resistance while increasing growth hormone production. For those concerned about aesthetic issues like skin sagging after weight loss, autophagy can actually help tighten loose skin by recycling unnecessary tissue components. Perhaps most remarkably, it shows significant promise for people recovering from concussions or traumatic brain injuries, and studies suggest it may help reduce or potentially even reverse early stages of neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. To truly understand why autophagy is so beneficial, we need to shift our perspective on how the body functions. Many of us have been conditioned to think that growth is inherently good while breakdown is inherently bad. We've developed this mental model of our bodies as permanent, unchanging structures, like statues that we see in the mirror each day, appearing roughly the same as yesterday. But this isn't an accurate representation of how our bodies actually work. Your body is much more like a flowing river than a static statue. The cells and tissues that comprise your body are in a constant state of flux, breaking down, being replaced, and renewing themselves continuously. Just as the water in a river is never the same from one moment to the next, your body is constantly regenerating itself through this dynamic process of breakdown and renewal. This recognition forces us to reconsider the importance of efficient breakdown processes, not just growth. The health of your body depends on both building up new tissue and breaking down old tissue in balanced proportion. Cleanup is every bit as important as construction. Think about building a house. You wouldn't simply stack timber on top of a rocky, uneven surface without first creating a proper foundation. Similarly, your body needs to clear away damaged, dysfunctional cellular components before it can effectively build healthy new tissue. Without proper cleanup mechanisms, problems begin to accumulate. Consider osteoporosis as an example of what happens when this balance is disrupted. Healthy bone consists of protein providing flexibility and minerals providing hardness. The medication Fosamax was designed to prevent bone breakdown, but this interfered with the body's natural remodeling process. The result was bones that appeared dense on X-rays due to mineral content, but were actually brittle and prone to fracturing because the underlying protein matrix wasn't being properly renewed. This same concept applies throughout the body. Proper breakdown and cleanup are prerequisites for building truly healthy tissue. While growth is certainly essential during childhood development, once we reach adulthood, maintaining proper balance becomes more crucial. Many diseases associated with aging actually involve excessive accumulation and inadequate cleanup. Cardiovascular disease involves plaque buildup in arteries. Alzheimer's disease features the accumulation of amyloid plaques and neurofibrillary tangles in the brain that aren't being properly cleared away. Cancer represents uncontrolled growth of abnormal cells. By enhancing autophagy, we're essentially strengthening our body's ability to remove damaged components before they cause problems, rather than simply continuing to build on a compromised foundation. So how does autophagy actually work in practice? Let's examine what happens when you follow a typical eating pattern versus when you incorporate fasting. If you eat 3 regular meals every day without ever missing one, and consume about 100 grams of protein daily, that protein gets broken down into amino acids which then enter your body's amino acid pool. Essentially, the raw materials available for rebuilding tissues. From that pool, your body will construct new proteins for various physiological functions. The interesting thing is that your body actually uses approximately 300 grams of amino acids daily to build new tissues, far more than the 100 grams you're consuming through food. This means your body already has a sophisticated recycling system in place, breaking down existing proteins to reclaim about 200 grams of amino acids for reuse. Since you're inputting 100 grams through diet and recycling 200 grams internally, there's a balance where about 100 grams of excess proteins get excreted or converted to energy. This represents your normal metabolic state when consistently consuming regular meals. When you fast, however, something remarkable happens. During periods without food intake, you're adding 0 grams of new protein to your system, yet your body still needs to produce those 300 grams of proteins for essential functions. Your body constantly needs to generate new red blood cells, approximately 300 million every minute, along with white blood cells for immune function and materials for ongoing tissue repair and maintenance. These processes cannot simply stop because you've temporarily stopped eating. This forces your body to dramatically enhance its recycling capabilities. It's like putting an extra crew on cleanup duty, searching through every corner of your cellular environment for resources that can be repurposed. The autophagy process becomes significantly more thorough and efficient during fasting periods. Your body scours itself for any damaged components, debris, or unnecessary structures that can be broken down and recycled into building blocks for essential new tissues. This intensified cleanup mechanism is what makes autophagy such a powerful, health-promoting process. Now we can better understand why autophagy improves immune function so dramatically. During fasting-induced autophagy, your white blood cells are essentially upgraded as part of this enhanced cleanup crew. They become more efficient at identifying and removing viruses, bacteria, dead cellular debris, and even cancerous or precancerous cells. Your tissue quality improves because the body becomes more thorough about removing old, damaged fibers and other cellular components that might otherwise linger and compromise optimal function. The hormonal environment during autophagy is also remarkably beneficial. Insulin levels naturally decrease when you're not consuming food, which helps improve insulin sensitivity throughout the body. Meanwhile, growth hormone levels increase significantly during fasting, which helps preserve muscle mass by signaling the body to retain precious protein rather than burning it for fuel. This hormonal shift explains why proper fasting protocols don't typically result in significant muscle loss. Your body preferentially burns fat while preserving protein for essential functions. The reduction in skin sagging that many people experience during extended fasting periods is directly connected to autophagy as well. When your body is aggressively searching for materials to recycle, excess skin tissue becomes a resource rather than a burden. The components of that extra skin can be broken down and repurposed, potentially helping tighten and tone areas that previously sagged. For brain health, autophagy offers unique benefits that are particularly notable. Unlike muscle tissue, which is designed to regularly experience minor damage and has efficient repair mechanisms, brain tissue is meant to be protected by the skull and blood-brain barrier. Consequently, the brain hasn't evolved equally robust cleanup mechanisms for dealing with damage when it does occur. Fasting-induced autophagy helps compensate for this limitation by enhancing the brain's natural but limited cleanup capabilities. Additionally, during fasting, blood glucose levels decrease while ketone production increases. Ketones provide a cleaner, more efficient fuel source for brain cells than glucose, and they generate less inflammatory byproducts. For someone recovering from a concussion or traumatic brain injury, immediately eliminating sugar and implementing intermittent fasting can significantly accelerate healing by both enhancing cleanup processes and providing superior fuel for recovery. Similar mechanisms explain why autophagy may help address neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, which both involve the accumulation of proteins and cellular debris that normal cleanup processes have failed to remove. Despite all these benefits, it's crucial to understand that autophagy isn't about completely eliminating food intake forever. Like everything in health and biology, it's about finding the proper balance. There needs to be a harmonious relationship between anabolism, building up, and catabolism, breaking down. Just as your body requires both activity and recovery, wakefulness and sleep, exercise and rest, it also needs periods of both feeding and fasting to function optimally. Throughout human evolutionary history, we naturally experience cycles of feast and famine. Our ancestors didn't have constant access to food 24/7, and they certainly didn't follow modern dietary recommendations of eating 3 meals daily plus multiple snacks while constantly sipping sugary beverages. They might naturally go 18, 24, or even 72 hours without food during certain periods. Far from being harmful, these fasting intervals actually triggered beneficial autophagy processes that helped maintain optimal cellular function. Our modern lifestyle has dramatically disrupted these natural patterns. We spend hours sitting at desks, hunched over computers, then transition to sitting on couches while staring at screens late into the night. Artificial lighting allows us to stay awake far beyond sunset, disrupting our natural circadian rhythms. Most significantly, we've adopted eating patterns that involve constant feeding throughout our waking hours, never allowing our digestive systems to rest or our autophagy mechanisms to fully activate. The good news is that we can intentionally reintroduce beneficial autophagy cycles into our lives. Two particularly powerful tools for triggering autophagy are high-intensity interval training and strategic fasting. Both represent challenges that force your body to adapt by upregulating cleanup and recycling processes. High-intensity exercise creates a demand for energy and resources that stimulates autophagy, while fasting deprives the body of external nutrients, requiring it to become more efficient at internal recycling. How long does it take to activate significant autophagy? The answer varies considerably based on your metabolic health and dietary history. If you're coming directly from a standard high-carbohydrate diet and attempt fasting without preparation, It might take up to 72 hours before substantial autophagy kicks in. Your body first needs to deplete glycogen stores and shift into fat-burning mode before autophagy significantly accelerates. However, if you've already adapted to a ketogenic diet and your body is comfortable using ketones for fuel, you might achieve meaningful autophagy in just 24 hours of fasting. The more metabolically flexible you are, meaning your body can easily switch between different fuel sources, the more quickly you'll activate autophagy during fasting periods. For beginners interested in exploring autophagy benefits, I recommend a gradual approach. Start by reducing carbohydrate intake to around 50 grams daily, allowing your body to become more comfortable with fat metabolism. Once that feels sustainable, further reduce carbs until you're regularly producing ketones. From there, experiment with time-restricted eating patterns like an 18-to-6 schedule, where you consume all your daily food within a 6-hour window and fast for 18 hours. As this becomes comfortable, you can explore longer fasting periods to maximize autophagy benefits. Throughout this process, remember that balance remains the key. The goal isn't constant fasting or restriction, but rather introducing enough fasting periods to regularly activate your body's natural cleanup mechanisms. Most people in modern societies are dramatically skewed toward constant feeding and insufficient fasting, so reintroducing strategic fasting intervals can help restore the natural balance our bodies evolved to expect. Autophagy represents one of the most exciting frontiers in health science today, offering promising approaches for addressing chronic disease, enhancing longevity, and optimizing cellular function. By understanding this remarkable process and implementing simple strategies to activate it, you can potentially access health benefits that were previously thought impossible. From improved immune function to enhanced brain health, reduced inflammation to better tissue repair, autophagy touches virtually every aspect of physical well-being. I hope this exploration of autophagy has given you valuable insights into how your body maintains itself and how you can support these natural processes. If you found this information helpful, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the Senior Health Report. Thanks for watching.